We're ready to go live in five, four, three, two. Welcome one and all to the Gamers at Large podcast. Here we go, starting all the way from my right to my left. I'm going to introduce who we have available over here tonight, and it is Shadow Fox. Go ahead, do your thing.
Roll Ninja K now descent. Let's get it.
Alrighty. Up next, we got the Good Shepherd. What's up, man?
What's going on? It's Good Shepherd. I'm finally posting videos. Check out my channel. Let's enjoy this conversation tonight, guys.
Already, we got up over here our boy Gamer Nate 78, the Rogue Legend. Go ahead, do your thing, man.
You thought you had me down? Guess what, guys? I'm back.
All right. All right. Up next, we got Jay Fleming, the resident bulldog of our gamer gamers in large community. I'm trying to get it out here. Resident bulldog. Go ahead, man.
Oh man, hey, Game Cafe in full effect. Let's get it tonight.
I'm tripping over my own tongue now. Up next, we got Games Rosa. Do your thing, bro.
Hello, everybody. Mega Gamer Man back at you once again. Glad to be here. Let's get started.
And everybody, you have to sit up here and big condolences to Games Rosa's computer, who died out of jealousy for Mario Kart 8.
Some people say it's because of that 10-hour stream, which I think I don't know, but you know.
I'll be with it.
Tonight we're gonna be talking about just a little bit of everything. It don't really matter at this point. So let's go ahead and let's do this. Who's got the first topic for this evening?
I'll go first.
Go for it. Go for it, Jay.
Right. Late last week, during E3, Ubisoft's president Yves Guillemot made a statement about the shelving of games until Nintendo's Wii U becomes more profitable. Now, the problem that I have with this statement is the fact that if going by what he says is true, the only things that Ubisoft should be making video games for is the PS3, the 360, the Wii, and the PC. Going by what he says. But that's obviously not the case because he's putting stuff out on the PS1 and the PS4 and the Xbox One. Now, I tried to wrap my head around this from a business standpoint, and I can't because if you already got a game completed, it makes no sense to shelve it just because you don't know how it will do, especially whatever type game it is, you don't know how it will do when it comes out, especially if it's a drought on, like there is a drought, in the gaming industry as a whole. You don't know how it will do. So for him to say that, it makes no sense, especially in light of, because when he said it was right before the digital event, so I'm pretty sure he said it is like crap. But other than that, I'm like, I just want to get your guys' thoughts on that.
Well,
does this mean Watch Dogs is not coming this holiday?
No. Watch Dogs is still coming this holiday. What happened was the president of Ubisoft was saying something in reference to a game that's already been completed and that's supposed to be, from what he described, an E for Everyone title. The only thing I can think of is they made Raving Rabbids Party and are holding it hostage.
Yeah. And if that's the case, I'm like, dude, number one, why did you try to make it seem like it was something big if that's the case? And number two, dude, that's just a party game. Why wouldn't you release it? Why are you holding that hostage? But the problem that I had with it was he said until they changed their fortunes. If you look at the Xbox One, it ain't doing that well. The PS4, even in Japan, is stalling. So what is he basing that on? If that's the case, then the only thing they should be releasing titles for is the last gen and PC. That's it. Going by his logic, that makes no sense.
Jay.
Well, they should also be developing for the 3DS, right? So what games they got for the 3DS?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Oh, he ain't gonna do that. He ain't gonna bring that up. And the interviewer didn't even bring that up. That's why sometimes I'm like, dude, why don't y'all ask them questions?
Because they got what they
it's the
wanted
media.
They got what they wanted to hear already.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
You know what? After that awesome digital event, who gives a shit if they release a game or not?
He kind of has a point there.
Like I said though,
we're already going to be broke this holiday from strictly Nintendo first party, second party titles. I mean, I was throwing my money at my monitor, and I was throwing lint at one point. Lint.
Oh Lord, I'm gonna tell you something right now. Like I said, Nintendo they had a very strong digital event, and I could see them pulling their fortunes, back up to what it should be as far as with the Wii U in time. But this whole holding games hostage thing just sounds a little capricious to me. Sounds a little bit random.
Well, the
Yeah.
thing that I'm kind of I just don't understand is the double standard because there are not enough systems out there, and we got Xbox One, which is struggling just like the Wii U was last year.
Hmm.
So, well, what exactly was the issue? Why all of a sudden your engine magically works on Xbox One and you can magically develop for it, even though I'm pretty sure Child of Light didn't sell as well as it did on the Wii U or
Hmm.
PS4. So I'm trying to figure out exactly how you figure that you're gonna make more income with a platform with less users than
Mm.
you know what I'm saying, where you're dealing with a Nintendo platform. And yes, you do have to compete with Nintendo, but if your game is good, it will still sell.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like I said, though, it's just the industry being its usual self. You know what I'm saying? Rearing its ugly head.
Hmm.
That's all that is. It's the
Let
same
me
old
ask,
politicking.
was this before or after the digital event when he said
This was
this?
this was before. This was before the digital event because it got I think it got posted that Wednesday.
Hmm.
Yeah, it got posted that Wednesday. So this was before the digital event.
Mm.
Digital event was on Tuesday now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But they did the interview or whatever before the digital event actually came on. It just got posted that Wednesday.
Oh, I got it. I got you. I got you. Okay. Because I was thinking, like, that don't make no sense. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Uh,
like I said, all I know is that like I said, if these companies are gonna start sitting up here and making any money like they should, the first thing they need to do is start phasing out last gen. Last gen is basically sucking up a lot of their development resources, whether anybody wants to admit it or not. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But people aren't buying games for these new consoles. Even if they're buying the consoles, in the case of the PS4, people aren't buying games.
because there's no
They
games
will
to
if
be
they got
bought.
nothing. If they got nothing to look forward to in the past gen, they will buy these
Yeah.
games. That's the problem. When you got games like, let's say, for example, The Last of Us coming out on PS4 and PS3, and it came out on PS3 first, people are gonna opt for the cheaper option and go for that
Yep.
one beforehand. You know what I'm saying?
Be
And then play that.
cannibalizing themselves.
Exactly, they're cannibalizing themselves. If they the thing is that's development resources they sat up there developed to have higher textures, higher this, higher that, higher whatever. You know what I'm saying? For PS4, for what?
Yeah.
What's the
That is
sense?
very true.
I mean, they need to sit up here and say goodbye, give it a nice, big hurrah to last gen and call it a day.
Well, it's a little bit of strategy with that too, right? Because you're dealing with a fan base that, man, I hate to say it, but the majority of the vocal fan bases for these systems, they're they're idiots that listen to whatever's in the article and then they receive it as fact. So dealing with that, you have to understand that a person that's championing the Xbox One because they're an Xbox fanboy, but they don't have the money to buy one yet, and they just have a 360. If you cut them off, they might start looking at that PS4. Hell, the last thing they're probably gonna do is look at Nintendo, but they might, considering what 2013, no systems weren't out yet, and all of a sudden you hear a word, well, we're waiting until next gen for this game, or we're waiting until next gen for this game, and there's no 360 or PS3 version, and the only thing out there is Wii U right now. So, and especially now because there are a lot of people now. We see the sales numbers, and they aren't as great as we thought they were going to be, and the games aren't being purchased as great as we thought they were going to be, and there's a drought, right? So if you decided, hey, I'm going to go all next gen, blah blah blah, and these people didn't buy these consoles, that's not necessarily going to force them to go over. If anything, it's probably going to piss them off, and they're going to pick whichever one they think pisses them off the less, and they're going to migrate to that.
But at the same token, you're pissing off the people who actually took the time to sit up here and upgrade. Let's look at, for example, the FIFA situation. You got FIFA coming out for Wii, but it's not coming out for Wii U.
Yeah, yeah, because the Wii version is just a roster update, and they're still going to make money off of it. There are 100 million Wii's out there.
Hmm.
The chances are very well that they're going to make their money back from the $15 they spent to print that disc.
Mm.
Versus say, what I'm saying, them actually making the engine for the Wii U and then putting stuff on it when we don't know how that will be received. The Wii, everybody buys everything for the Wii because the Wii everybody has one. So
Even
it's
though
way
Wii U owners technically have a Wii.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just it's a game of numbers, but at the same point in time, people are going to take the numbers and see they're going to take them however they see fit. So if you have a system where hey, we can go ahead and cut this off and make it all next gen, and then cut off the old gen stuff. Your excuse is to still make money on the 7th gen hardware, and then you use that to develop the next gen, quote unquote, or the current gen.
Mm-hmm.
Which is basically what they've been doing all along, right? So everybody that made a cheap port for Wii, and stuff like that, they took the money that they made from that, the profits they made from that, and they used it to help develop their 7th gen or 8th gen engines.
Mm-hmm.
There is
So,
one other aspect that nobody is actually factoring into the whole situation about games not selling on the new consoles. And that's the fact that there has been a major shift from console gaming to PC gaming since the release of PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. A lot of people wised up and realized they were getting a load of crap, and they decided to just go either buy a pre-made gaming PC or build their own gaming PC, and that's factual and proven by numbers.
That is true. That is true.
And like I said, though, when you got things like the Steam sales that are coming out that basically they give you ridiculously low prices for games that probably just came out about a few months only, and the Amazon digital sales that they do the same thing as well. I mean, I could see that really hurting console sales big time.
so are
When you got
PC game sales
Alienware,
increasing now? Is
yeah,
that
yeah,
that makes sense then?
whenever you got companies like Alienware offering trade-ins for consoles towards PCs now, there's something there going on.
I'm gonna tell you something right now, though. I would never trade my Wii U. I got this sucker, and it's staying here.
Well,
Even-
that's the purpose for having first party exclusives if you're on a console. But when your console is basically run by third parties and they can go to everything, I'm like, come on, man.
Get a PC.
Yeah,
That's what's gonna happen, and then people are gonna go for the cheaper prices because, like I said, Steam, Amazon, they all sell cheaper. Good old games, they get sales left and right. Gamers Gate, I could keep naming different ones, on and on. GameFly, with the digital sales.
yeah.
Now,
So-
it always has been exclusives that sold consoles, and for whatever reason, two hardware manufacturers are not getting that equation. I mean, really, the only reason I bought an Xbox One was for Halo and Killer Instinct. At this point, anyway, there may be some other stuff coming out in the future, maybe Mass Effect or what have you, if it remains
Can I
exclusive.
tell you what made me a Sony fan originally back on PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2?
The exclusive games, Toshinden,
Whenever
freaking
games like Tekken were only on PlayStation.
Yeah.
Or when Mortal Kombat 3 came out first,
Yeah.
because it took a while to show up on Nintendo 64.
Yeah, it did. I remember that.
It was Need for Speed, Street Fighter Alpha, Battle Arena Toshinden, Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
The game
Brave Fencer Musashi.
Oh, hell
Yes.
Yes.
Legend of Dragoon. I mean,
Oh,
we
man.
could start talking about RPGs, but let's leave that alone.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
For me,
Yeah.
for me, it was Mega Man Legends 2 because that was only on PlayStation. Like I could not get that anywhere else. That was on the original PlayStation.
Was Mega
So,
Man Legends
I was
on
like-
N64?
And it was on N64.
Mega Man Legends was 64.
Yeah, they
Mega
did
Man
it.
64. I know I still got it.
Mega Man Legends was on the 64, and it was on PlayStation. Legends 2, though, was only on PlayStation.
Yeah, the better version of the first game was on 64 though, because the analog stick and the first Legends didn't support that on PS1.
My mind was blown by Symphony of the Night,
Oh,
Mega Man X4.
Oh. Yep.
Yeah, Symphony of the Night stole
The
my
bad
soul
thing
for a
is-
mini-night.
Ooh.
The bad thing is
X4.
Symphony of the Night was on Saturn, but only in Japanese.
Yeah.
That is one
The
game that
Saturn
I
had
wish
the better version. That's right.
Yeah, it had the better version content-wise, but the Sony version did look a lot better. 'Cause
I
the
wish
engine was made
Nintendo would-
specifically for that.
I wish Nintendo would get in contact with Konami and get a Symphony of the Night 2 made for Wii U. Can you imagine how epic
Chances
that
are
would be?
that's not going to happen because it's just not in Konami's site. Plus, they're already doing all of the the other games that are just like Symphony of the Night for the
on the DS and the 3DS.
Mhm.
Yeah, so they're probably not going to do one for the Wii U unless it's just like a re-release of Symphony of the Night, like they did when they moved it to PSP.
Mm.
Oh, which I have.
I tell you what, if they go ahead and put all the GBA and DS Castlevanias on Wii U Virtual Console, I'm buying all of them. All three.
I'm saying,
I'll buy them all
that-
again.
Aria of Sorrow,
Bad-
and Order of Ecclesia, Portrait of Ruin.
Circle of the Moon, all of
Right.
them.
The bad thing is, I own all of them, and I would buy them again.
I do too. I'm getting them again.
By the way, can I get some clarification when it comes to the GBA and Game Boy games on the Wii U Virtual Console? Can you play them on your TV, or is it only on the gamepad?
No, it's
Oh,
on. It shows on both.
You show them both.
What about the DS games? Have they shown? Have they brought some DS games too, right?
Brain Age is out, I
They
think.
just put Brain Age out.
And there's two ways to play it. Like you could set it up to where both screens are on the gamepad, or you can set it up where you can. Well, they're supposed to be able to set it up where you can put one screen on the gamepad and one screen on the TV.
And
I don't know.
That's the
That's
way
how
I
it is. I
want
would
it.
be
Where it's
enjoying
one on
it.
the TV, one on the pad.
I think that part is a per game basis though.
Yeah.
I think I know why they did that too. Just for all the developers that are hardcore into DS and 3DS, games to make them and all that, to help them migrate on over to the Wii U.
Yeah, because then there's no excuse. Hey, you have like 19 games for the 3DS. Why haven't you made a Wii U game?
Yep. No excuse whatsoever.
Well, like I said, they give it time. Nintendo's gonna get everything situated. I ain't worried about it. You know what I'm saying? But
Well, they're already well on their way.
in the meanwhile, I know that they're supposed to be having something coming up too. Did you guys hear about that system update that they're working on?
Yep.
Yeah, Miyamoto talked about it.
Yeah, Miyamoto said something about it in one of those developer roundtables.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just hoping.
What's it about?
I missed that.
I haven't heard it.
They didn't give any details.
But the
They
thing
just
is,
like,
he said the next big update, and he referred to it as a big update. So who
Yeah,
knows
that'd be
what they plan on adding?
Folders
on-screen
and
notifications, please.
Man,
On-screen notification? Oh yeah, there you go.
I just want
on-screen
folders.
notification.
I just want folders.
What about that
Folders.
GameCube Virtual Console, huh?
I
We're
just-
getting
I
that
just want-
gamepad now. I mean, come on.
I heard a rumor about the whole GameCube Virtual Console, but I don't know when they're gonna start it because it's that GameCube controller is for more than just Smash.
Of course, they wouldn't make the money and just smash.
Yeah, so
It would just be real stupid for them to make that peripheral and not make GameCube games available.
yeah,
I would not
so
be surprised if they release a ton of GameCube games after Smash comes out. Sorry.
hey, it prints money. If you do that, like, oh man, I'm buying Eternal Darkness all over again.
yep.
Oh my
That's
Oh,
all. The bad
Lord.
thing is, if they only put that game out there for like a month, people will be happy.
Heck yeah.
That game
2
is so
weeks.
rare.
I mean,
Just drop it.
if they could somehow pull off getting Soul Calibur 2 on there with online playability on
hell
the
yes.
GameCube version.
That would definitely. I would prefer they do what was done with the HD remake and just put all the characters in, and Nintendo would end up with the best version automatically because they'd have everyone,
Yeah.
including them.
Skies of Arcadia, please.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Skies of Arcadia.
Yes, 'cause I missed that game. I didn't get to really play it much.
Oh, dude,
yeah.
you missed a classic, dude.
Oh,
Y'all were
I
at
played
it.
it on
Yeah,
Dreamcast. I played it on
Don't forget
Dreamcast.
about Fire Emblem,
Radiant Dawn or Path of
Path of Radiance.
Path of
Path of
Radiance. Yeah.
Yeah. Because let me tell you like this: I played Skies of Arcadia so much, I scratched the Dreamcast disc and the GameCube disc. I scratched both of them.
How do you do that?
Long
Long
that's how I
story.
felt.
Long story.
I did the Phantasy Star Online. I had to get another disc.
Yeah.
That would be a
Fantasy
good game
Star
for the
Online.
Virtual Console too.
That game just needs to be on Wii U. Period. Like PSO
game just needs to
come
be
back.
on Wii U.
That game just needs to come back.
They should go ahead and do an HD collection and then announce a new version of the game. There we go.
I mean, it's a no-brainer. All your commands can go right there on the gamepad. I mean, you could type commands on the gamepad. You could do voice chat from the gamepad. I mean, what the fuck? I'm sorry, excuse my French. It just makes too much. Any MMO really should be like the first target should be Wii U. Period.
As far as home consoles, yes.
As far as on the console, I mean, even
unless your name
RTS
is
games.
Bethesda. At least your name is Bethesda. Because
Well,
Oh,
You know what?
Bethesda needs to sit up here, take their heads out the collective asses, and just
well,
You know
put
what?
out
They-
and
you
put
saw
out
my
Fallout
video.
on Wii U.
That
Bethesda.
Where's Waldo, that was clearly maximizing the NES to its full potential.
Well,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
Best
Bethesda,
NES engine ever.
Bethesda just needs to make a game with no glitches in it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What I was
Oh,
going to
Lord.
say is that there are indie developers that have made games very similar to the Bethesda's. If Nintendo really wanted to show them something, they could go to these indie developers and help them reconfigure and develop their games for the Wii U, and then just be like, "Hey, shove it! You said it couldn't be done. We
Ooh,
proved
wait a minute. Get Wasteland 2 for Wii U. Done.
it."
Is this still on
Hey,
Kickstarter?
Done. I'll have my Fallout fix.
Dude,
Is it
honestly,
still on Kickstarter?
Could you
I want to say
imagine?
it is.
Could you imagine Outlast on Wii U? The whole camera thing.
Oh,
The
that's
game-
the
Yeah.
whole point. That's the whole point. I don't get it, man. Like oh, man. Let's end this conversation about Wii U.
Yeah.
Let's move on about people's wasted
Can I bring up my
development.
subject?
Go for it, man.
So I don't know if anybody knows this, but if you happen to put your EA bashing bats away for the year, you know, your Tommy guns, you know, that shoot EA hating bullets, you might want to go ahead and bring them back out for the holiday season. Because EA, who obviously is like a little child, cannot learn a lesson, you know, after being voted worst company of the year again, given the Pooh Award, has decided to take Battlefield 4, reskin it, call it Battlefield Hardline, and say they're going to sell it to us at $60, more than likely with a premium subscription, and give us less content than what was there with Battlefield 4.
literally,
I've seen that crap.
this is literally a
Trailer-
game update, and they're
trailer
selling
for
it
that
separately on
nonsense.
purpose.
That next gen magic.
It was literally a video. It was an update that they're just selling separately, intentionally to make people have to buy it. Like they're definitely pulling a Call of Duty.
Oh,
As
Lord.
as one poster put it on the EA forums, this is a mod we're being asked to pay for, where mods are normally free.
Battlefield 4, we really fixed it this time edition. In the stores now.
Oh, man, that's wild. Well, you know, like I said, though, this is what happens when you basically make these year-to-year released games. You're not going to have enough time for proper development. So what do? You sit up here and shortcut and ham and egg your way through it.
So we should be expecting an apology from Peter Moore in say what next 2 months.
Yeah. Then they'll
Either
release.
that, or he's going to come out on stage and go, "Squeal for me, squeal!"
Oh, Lord.
Then they'll release a mod for The Sims and sell that too.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Basically.
Yeah, we broke this also, so buy it again.
But you know what? You know, I've said this a few times, and I hope that it gets to them eventually. But Nintendo should open themselves up to fan mods. The same way that Steam is working with allowing fans to put the mods in their games.
In
should do
certain games.
Yeah, I mean, not in everything, but yeah, like, come on, Super Mario Brothers U, that's perfect for fan mods.
But
Mario
then
Maker.
again, Mario Maker.
Yeah.
Say Mario Maker's kind
Mario
of
Maker's there.
Yeah, but that's not unless they're allowing you to make a full game, it's still not quite the same experience.
I got a feeling it is. I think
If
it
they
is.
are if they are allowing you to make a full game, then I retract that statement completely.
I don't see why they wouldn't let you. I mean,
I would
the
let
only-
if
the
they
only-
allow.
The only limit is memory and external hard drive go.
Say if they are doing that, I will be making myself plenty of trollish Mario games that people will hate me for.
I
Mario,
thought we were already gonna do that.
Exactly. We know you're gonna troll.
Mario must die. Mario kills Toad. Mario kills Peach. Peach kills Mario. Peach
Just to
kills
get-
Mario.
just-
Hyper jump addiction.
Daisy kills them all.
Yep, Daisy
Just to
kills
get
them all.
back on track on the subject I brought, here's my only thing I want to say to EA. Either A, you release it as an expansion to Battlefield 4 like you did Vietnam for Bad Company 2, or you sell it for $40. But I will be damned if I pay $60 plus premium for a reskin Battlefield 4.
But
You know,
They're
don't
gonna
Call of
really
Duty do
do
that
me
all
in.
the time? Don't all these other systems just reskin it and sell it as a brand new game? I mean, that's nothing new, honestly, bro. They're
Sure,
just
EA can do two things to basically rectify the situation and save face. All right. One is to make sure the gameplay engine of the new Mass Effect game mirrors Mass Effect 2 and not 3.
Mm,
Um, make sure that they actually release Mirror's Edge 2.
mm.
That's about it. Other than
I'm
that,
with you on the Mass Effect 2 thing.
yeah. Mirror's Edge, they have to do it because there's like way too many fans that want it, and they already teased it, and it doesn't seem like they're even close to being ready.
Oh gosh,
If they're
if they
even
don't
do
bring
it,
that game out,
they have to do it now.
picks, ooh,
Dude,
torches,
not for nothing.
pitchforks.
Not for nothing, but at least they're not as bad as Valve.
Yeah. Well, didn't Valve announce Left 4 Dead 3 and another game that actually is getting a 3 recently?
Come see me when you get a Half-Life 3.
Yeah, I
No,
know,
I
right?
know they didn't
Man,
announce
come
that.
see me when you get an episode 3. I'll take Half-Life 2 episode 3. Can we get
That's
that?
what I'm saying. I'm just picked up that they sit up here and yes, spoiler, I don't care who gets mad, they killed off Robert Guillaume.
Hey, it is what it is.
I'm still ticked off they killed him off and I didn't get no closure after that.
Nothing.
No closure, just none.
Hey, let's look at the HDR. I don't care. Don't care.
All
Don't care
right.
about your...
Real quick, Jay's got to side off right quick. All right, because he's got somewhere to go. Go ahead and do your thing, bro.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining. Thanks for listening. Sorry I gotta run, but I got a thing I gotta take care of. So I will catch you guys on the next one. All right, peace.
Peace.
All right.
But getting back to all this things and whatever that's going on, I'm just telling you right now. This is what happens when you have manufactured obsolescence. This is what happens when you bring that on and then not follow through.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's manufactured obsolescence, and then all of a sudden they basically try to make last year's game obsolete, put out a new one, and then just do a slapdash sequel.
And it's their fault because they shouldn't have fanned the fire in the beginning by putting a beta for their last game in the third game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are you smoking? If that game isn't like shit hot, that's probably something you shouldn't do. It blows my mind. So I don't know, man. EA just add more content to Tor. Make Madden actually have a different gameplay engine this year.
Drop the subscription price to Tor.
Matter of fact, make Madden a subscription. Make your money off of that. I mean, because people don't want to pay $60 every year.
It's roster updates. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's all it really is. Roster updates, and that's really about it.
I'll pay $60 for a 2 or 3 year subscription.
Oh,
Yeah, just keep the Madden going and just download it or buy the next or pick up the next disc. I'll do that.
speaking of EA, what did you think of the lawsuit that they lost with the NCAA?
Now, when was that finalized though? Was that finalized?
I think it was finalized this past month. I think they finalized it. That they sat up there and lost it. They had to pay the players for their likenesses.
Oh, because one dude is like, "Hey, I'm playing this game. Hey, that's me. Oh, let me call my lawyer." See, that's crazy. But it is,
I mean, it is what it is, dude. That's your likeness. I mean, you have your right to your likeness.
every person on Earth does. So yeah, I'm wondering if the NCAA association is just like, it should be operated just like how the NFL is. It's not necessarily quote unquote your likeness. It's all yourself as a player and your stats. So it's not, hey, you're from here and you're dating this girl, blah, 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 and here's your entire Facebook account. It's you as a player in the game and whatever your stats were for that year that they've decided to record and keep for their records and not you.
That would work if they were pro athletes, but that's that's the thing. They're not pro athletes, so that's where you get into that little bit of a, All right. Looks like Nate's going to sit up here and duck out because he's not feeling too well, so let him do his sign out real quick. Go ahead, Nate.
Yeah, guys, I'm just about done for the night, so I figure I'll go ahead and get off here and get to bed. So I will catch y'all later. Look forward to the next podcast. Sorry for being a little out of it today, and peace out, guys.
Alrighty. Do what you got to do, bro.
Yeah, I was kicked for some reason. I don't know what that was, but okay.
I have no clue, dude. But like I was saying though, part of the problem with the industry is they basically conjure up obsolescence out of nowhere, make things obsolete that they should and that they can easily upgrade. Like if they're gonna be doing this thing with Battlefield, like Nate said, make it an upgrade. Release it as a full title because there's no way that it should be a full title in here. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be a full title.
Yep, I agree. All those games should be like that. Battlefield, Call of Duty, the sports games in general. And we have silence. Hi, everybody. It's now the Good Shepherd podcast. How you guys doing?
Oh, it's the Shepherd at Large podcast.
Word.
Anywho, but before I sit up here and bring out a topic, I'm just gonna say it like this: the industry just frustrates me the way it stands right now. It can't make up its mind whether it wants to sit up here and stick with past gen or current gen. I don't call it next gen because it's current. It's now. You know what I'm saying?
It's all these standards that don't exist, and this console one was utter nonsense. It just drives me nuts. The industry is so fake. It's ridiculous. Like you've
I
seen.
just don't like how that they keep making it like they keep calling the current gen consoles, which is PS4 and Xbox One, keep saying next gen, next gen, next gen. It's not next gen anymore, guys. It's here.
You see, the thing is, they don't have any good games yet, so they're just trying to build the hype and keep the hype going, because that's all they have. Greatness awaits.
Yeah, I know.
Greatness
and
awaits.
Sony goes around being like, "Oh, see, we sold this many consoles now." Oh, what? Because of hype? Yeah.
Yeah. How many of those consoles were returned?
Yep.
No, seriously, how many of those were returned?
I don't think they're going to give us those numbers. Oh, Lord. But, it is what it is. What can you say? You know what I'm saying? They're going to sit up here and keep pulling this nonsense until about 2 years into this console generation.
Yeah, it's what they normally do, and it's always an excuse. They come up with whatever it is that they want to pimp and they want to move. Like in the 6th generation, it was all about online. You got to push that because you have to make yourself different somehow, and you have to create some new thing for every developer to jump on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then in 7th gen, it's all HD. Then when people started making HD games, they're like sub HD, screen turn. So,
oh Lord.
And now we're in a situation where you can actually fulfill the promises of 7th gen, and they're still struggling. So
yeah.
I don't. Anytime that you brag about a bullet point, you pretty much know that it's not going to be. The fact that you're bragging about it being there means that you sacrificed everything possible to make that bullet. And that's just too bad, really.
Speaking of sacrificing and coming up with nothing, let's talk about Capcom.
Okay, here we go. Let me
go. Everybody get ready. This is the juicy topic right here. Capcom looks like they're going to do away with their protection from buyouts.
Nintendo, hurry up, jump on it.
I told them. Hey, I told them.
Don't say nothing. If Microsoft finds out that Nintendo wants it,
well, you see,
Microsoft ain't going to get it because they're not a Japanese company.
I don't know.
They're not a Japanese company. They can't do it.
You forgot how they roll.
You forgot that rule.
But they have a Japanese subsidiary though.
A subsidiary, but they're not a Japanese company.
But can Microsoft of Japan jump in and make the purchase?
I don't think so.
They have to be I think it has to come from the main branch.
Exactly, and the main branch has to be in Japan.
So
Didn't they buy Artoon?
yeah,
Wasn't
we won't
Artoon,
see Microsoft
Japanese?
do a Rare to Capcom.
Oh God.
No,
But
Capcom
honestly,
already kind of did that.
But they
but
will
th-
want
this,
to just for that reason.
but here's where I speak blasphemy. I'm about to piss a bunch of people off.
Uh-oh, here we go.
No,
Okay, go ahead.
we had the talk the other day, and I agree. I wish Nintendo would buy Capcom, blah blah blah. But honestly, at this point, especially after that last digital event, screw Capcom.
Mm.
I mean,
I can't agree with screw Capcom, but I
I
can
mean,
say
no, I mean,
they on their own.
I will say. Let me put it this way: if Nintendo or some other company get it and put it to good work, great. That would be beyond awesome. Because
I
Capcom's
just want
potential,
Tatsunoko too.
I just want Breath of Fire to come back.
Breath
That
of
too.
Fire.
A lot of
I'm gonna
people
tell you right
want
now,
that bad.
Breath of Fire, Beautiful Joe, Mega Man, Power Stone. We talked about Arthur and the Knights of the Round.
Give me
Oh,
Mercs.
yeah, I
Can I
love
have Mercs,
Knights of the
please?
Round.
Mercs. Can I get Mercs? Final Fight.
Yeah. Oh, you know, I forgot
Final
about
Fight. We
Mercs.
brought that up last night too in our little mini podcast. Final Fight. All these great games. Capcom, if they actually had gotten their act together, they could technically they cover the only genre they don't have covered really is racing. Other than that, they could
No,
practically
they got racing games too.
do?
Automatalista.
What?
They do have racing games. I remember them
Automatalista
with
was
some
their racing
games.
game.
Oh, I never
Yeah,
played that. What
It was
system
cell.
did
It was
come
cell
out on?
shaded.
When did it
I
come
would say
out?
I do remember them.
It came out for
Yeah,
Xbox like
Capcom got every genre
2005.
covered.
Exactly. Okay, well then I take that back. See, if they played their cards right, they could technically dominate the gaming world right now because they have an IP in pretty much every genre, and they have iconic
Yeah,
IPs.
they do. And in everything, they have had a
Yes.
great IP in nearly every genre of gaming,
Yeah.
and
Particularly
they screwed
fighting.
themselves up.
Especially when it comes especially when it comes to fighting.
Particularly fighting games and action platformers.
Man,
They definitely covered those two.
Strider.
if Nintendo bought them boys and the Darkstalkers 4 came out, oh god.
Oh my
Ooh.
God, we brought that up last night. Oh,
Dark
God.
Stalkers 4, and then put Bayonetta as a character inside there.
oh hell
She
yeah,
would
she'd be
fit
perfect for
perfectly
that.
in there too.
Yes, she
and
would.
then do Power Stone 3 with Mii's in it or some craziness like.
Oh.
See,
Okay, you guys are
Capcom-
playing with my emotions again. We gotta stop this.
if Capcom hadn't thrown so much money into
Mobile.
developing games and canceling them, they might have actually done better than they are right now.
Yeah.
All that
Yeah, but you
R&D.
forgot all that money they put into mobile after taking it from their Monster
Mm.
Hunter stash.
which was
Imagine-
stupid.
Imagine if they made like a 3D Mega Man
Mm.
X or just regular Mega Man, and he defeats like the robot masters, and like they have a glowing coin you could watch as the armor literally assimilates.
I don't think they're ready, man. I think Retro will have to make a 3D Mega Man for them.
Well, hey,
I don't think they're ready.
no problem with that. I have no problem with Retro doing that.
Or have
That's why Nintendo. That's why I'm saying
commission
Nintendo get them. Nintendo go ahead and get them, and
Or
then
commission
commission out all those
Inafune.
IPs.
commission
You
Inafune
know
and making an IP.
that was one. That's one of my dreams. Nintendo go ahead and buy out Capcom and let Inafune go ahead and finish Mega Man Legends 3.
Mm.
And
I
you
mean-
know that's his dream game to finish.
Or make a Mega
Okay.
Man Reborn.
I'm back at this. I'm back. All right. Now listen, Nintendo, you got this. You can just buy them. You can literally
Okay,
get.
Rose, we covered that.
Breathe.
Okay, somebody get excited this.
They need this. They need this. They need it because of the fact that you got Mega Man. Basically, you have them already. Then literally you can get what's it called? I don't know. You would get like Street Fighter. I don't know, whatever else you want, because I don't know if those things would if you want them. But in that case, you would just go with Mega Man Legends 3. Please make that game. I've been waiting 10 years.
Oh Lord, relax, breathe. Go play some Mario Kart.
Yeah, I can't even say that, but yeah, go play some Mario Kart, bro. Calm down.
Full time.
Hey, who made Vanquish? Did Capcom make Vanquish or did somebody else make Vanquish?
Sega.
Yeah, so it was Platinum Games, right?
Yeah, Platinum.
And Platinum Games was part of Capcom
They were part of
when they
Capcom.
came from Clover and Production Studio 4.
Yep.
Right? So that means that they had the engine that they could use for a really fast paced Mega Man. Because that Vanquish was basically an extension of the product number 3 or PN3 engine, where you just kept a combo going based on everything that you killed, and it was bullets flying everywhere, and that's basically what a Mega Man game is minus jump. So there were steps in the right direction. It was just like, hey, we can't put Mega Man in this, so we'll put this character in here till we get a prototype that's a little bit better. So I'm trying to figure out why there hasn't been a complete game in almost 10 years when they've taken steps in that direction.
We do not understand the strange ways of third party.
Well, all the talent is gone, so it's kind of hard to.
The talent left and made independent studios.
Yeah.
Everything you're explaining is like mystery wizardry to these people.
Common sense does not apply.
Capcom, they don't know the magic, so they don't know that spell yet. So
Hell, there's another route Capcom could have went, since they're backing so many people making Mega Man fan games. They could have literally thrown these people a few bones, taken the games that were developed and released them across platforms.
Yeah.
The bet just any random one that's been thrown out.
They could have published it.
They could have published it.
And they would have got the money because, the developer, they don't really need too much. I mean, they just want their game.
Their name would be out there. That's all they would care about.
Breath of Fire.
Oh, Lord. Don't get me started with Breath of Fire.
Oh, I missed D.
My favorite one was Breath of Fire 2.
Well,
you know what? I barely remembered Breath of Fire 2. I just rebought it, so I'm going to play that again. Breath of Fire 4 was my favorite.
Hey, Breath of Fire 2 is the business.
Breath of Fire 1's coming to the Virtual Console.
Oh, okay, I'm going to check that out, too.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll start playing Breath of Fire 2 this week, then.
Yeah, I'm telling you right
tonight.
It's something about voiding that one turn so you can come back and just kick everybody's ass. It's something about that. I like that.
Oh, Lord. I like the way that you can sit up here and just, like, change your characters out and, basically enhance their abilities and whatever by, dang, I keep forgetting how it was because it's been so long since I played it. I haven't played Breath of Fire in how many years?
Dragon was just like a Dragoon. Like, they'll be gone for a couple turns, and then once they merge, they kick everybody's ass.
Exactly. Like, one of my favorite moves was Sway.
I have not played a Breath of Fire game in, oh my god,
Man,
at least 8-9 years, at least.
It's amazing the way the tactics that they decide to put in the game. And a lot of people will play through that game, they'll just slog through it, and they won't even know that half that shit is there.
They'll be grinding.
No, that's what a game.
Grind their way through
that's one of those games you don't grind. Well, you grind, but you don't grind that much.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Lord. I'm going to tell you something right now. Breath of Fire, to me, is the business. They need to bring that back full swing. And I would like to see, I don't know if they could pull this off licensing-wise. I would like to see 3 brought out to the Virtual Console, if that's possible.
That would be nice.
I would
that would
so
work pretty well.
love that. Oh my god.
Shoot, it's bad enough that we didn't get Seiken Densetsu. We didn't get Seiken Densetsu 3. Secret of Mana 2.
Yeah.
It's bad enough it's bad enough we didn't get that. You know what I'm saying? From those guys over there at Square Enix. Can't stand you guys.
That's a damn good game too.
Yeah, I played the emulated version.
Yeah, it's real good.
I'm not a fan of emulation, but hey,
yeah, that's the only way you can get it.
If that's the only way you can get it, what can you do? I mean, come on now. I got money in my wallet. I'll throw it at the screen right now, Nintendo. Sit up here and figure out how to do this. Chop, chop. Get Mother 3. Get Mother 3 over here.
Well,
fireballs at you.
Translated.
Speaking of these two companies that obviously don't know what to do with their development talent that they have, what do you guys think of this comment I put out there? It's got a lot of likes on Google Plus pretty quick, but I made a little comment out there, and it was from a video that Nintendo posted, and the comment reads, "I find it hilarious that magically now nobody wants to mention Devil's Third since it's a Wii U exclusive."
Oh, wow. That's That's true. That's
Oh,
true.
there's people that mention it, but they're now hating the game
They get
because it is a
downplay it.
Nintendo exclusive.
So
See, that's what they do.
Devil's Third was mentioned, I want to say, at least once in the last three podcasts with Jeff Keighley, right? And for the last 2 or 3 years, it's just like, yeah, that game's out there. Itagaki's got this team, and ever since THQ went down, what's going on with that game? We want that game. What's going on with that game? And silence now since it was announced for you. That's kind of odd.
Well,
It's not odd.
sorry,
It's not odd.
Look.
Nintendo saved it from falling into the abyss, just like they did with Bayonetta.
You see, the general rule is this: if it's Nintendo does a great job, they have to downplay it. Like you can go on all the sites; they won't deny that Nintendo did a great, if not the best, E3. But then they will mercilessly try to slaughter and downplay all the games.
Yeah. Oh, the whole comment where, oh, well, they don't even have the first game on there. How am I going to play Bayonetta 2 on this system? Well, now Bayonetta 1 is there. Well, that's good, but nobody's going to play it. Nobody's going to buy it. Really? Come on.
Oh, it's digital only in the U.S.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
only
Killing me.
They'll
not
be
on
like,
disc.
or they'll talk. They were dogging Shigeru Miyamoto, saying that his thing is quirky. Like what people have to realize is, even though I admit that Miyamoto is kind of quirky, I honestly think what he showed is part of something greater. Like that's not the actual game. Like he's just telling people this, but he's actually working on far more than that. Like the Project Robot and the Guard game, that's actually part of a total game. They're trying to say it's like a game that they're making. How am
No,
I saying it?
these are elements. Everything he brought was
Exactly.
like alpha. This is stuff that they would never show to anybody before. But for whatever
Exactly.
reason, they decided to do it this year so you can see how they think. And that's how they build games, man.
And
And other
that's
people don't do
exactly.
it.
And that's the thing. And these guys are trying to turn around and say, "Oh, well, this is the beginning of a game and it's quirky and blah blah blah." I'm like, listen, they are giving you the bare bones. There's far, far, far more to flesh out. So don't think that this is everything and they're just gonna make the graphics look better and run smoother. There's a lot more that needs to come and will come.
You know what I like when they do this stuff is they basically, for everybody else, right? Alpha footage, right? Oh, this is amazing. This is awesome. Blah 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 blah. Yet when it comes to Nintendo, it's just like
Garbage.
Buggy, it's early.
This looks like garbage, blah, because the thing, Sony and Microsoft and third parties have got them thinking in a way where it has to look good at first and then die down.
And that's dumb because Destiny didn't need to look good as an alpha. But they did that. So that game is almost complete. It's not an alpha.
Yep.
Ugh, man.
And that's what pisses me off because with Nintendo, it's gonna just get better and better and better. It's gonna get better every time you see it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the good thing. But let them save another IP that's going to die out, and we'll hear how much trash it is,
Yep.
or
it's
how
trash.
nobody was concerned with that franchise before. But yet we heard so many people complaining about Bayonetta 2, even though Nintendo funded the game.
Gonna make them eat that crow.
Yep.
And the same thing is happening with Devil's Third right this moment. Nintendo is funding the game because THQ went under and nobody picked it up. They did.
It just blows my mind how everybody wanted this game on the Xbox or whatever and the PlayStation. So when it's announced for Wii U, everybody gets mad, right? Then people sit here and say that Microsoft announced more games for 2014 than Nintendo did when Bayonetta 2 is one of those games. Bayonetta 2 is one of those games coming out in 2014. So I don't even understand. And that's not even counting. We're not even going to count indie games. We're not going to count eShop games and stuff like that. There's a plethora of stuff coming. So, there's like 3 games that's coming out like freaking tomorrow, like on eShop. Come on, man. It blows my mind, man. They got everything locked down. Their Watch Dogs isn't coming out to the end of this year. So you got that coming. Bayonetta's coming. Then there's another AAA Nintendo IP that's, obviously going to be there, depending on which one Nintendo wants to switch around. And, stuff is going to be there. The regular third-party stuff will be there. The Call of Duty, whatever version it's going to have, and then freaking Assassin's Creed, whatever version it's gonna have, they're gonna be there. So I don't understand what the big deal is.
It's all about popularity and gaming politics. It's pretty much what it is.
And
Shit of politics.
Okay, so any of y'all PC gamers?
Not really.
I'm
Okay.
not, but I'm
I'm
going to
thinking
try to
about
make it
getting
to
into it,
that
honestly.
direction.
Has anybody played The Witcher 1 or Witcher 2?
I have.
Heard of the game, but
Unfortunately,
I've
I
never
have.
played it.
Okay, now I want you to admit something for me, Quan.
Mhm.
Is the combat fun in The Witcher?
Yeah, for me, I didn't have a problem with the combat with The Witcher. A lot of people had a problem with the way that you have to sit up here and change your stances, swing your weapon, and whatnot, and it kind of threw your timing off. In the beginning, I hated it, but after a while, I got into it. It took me.
Okay.
I was one of them people. It took me a good minute to get into it, though.
Okay, so but before you start a battle, you stage everything though, right?
You have to sit up here and plan ahead based on what you're fighting. If you're fighting somebody that's like got heart attacks, you can't just sit up his side there and just go up at him any kind of way.
There are people that do not like that combat. There are people that do not like the mechanics once you're actually getting into fighting and things like that, right? But they will
hold on real
suffer through
quick.
that
I haven't
game.
even gotten into the fact that you need to use two different types of weapon types. Silver weapons are for monsters, etc., and
Yep.
whatnot, spiritual creatures, and your standard weapons are for anything else. I haven't even gotten into all of that yet.
So that being said, right, people are willing to suffer through that game just because the graphics look good.
Pretty much.
And I have a serious problem with that, but that's actually what people are doing. And the same people that would say a game is clunky, you know what I'm saying, when it's on a platform they don't like, be it a Sony fanboy versus a Xbox game or everybody versus a Nintendo game or whatever, say, oh, well, this is kind of clunky. I think that's kind of an issue. That means the game is broken. But they'll play something this complex. You get what I'm saying? And they'll suffer through it just because, hey, it's a high-end graphics engine. And I'm like, man, it's way more than just that, man. Just play the fucking game.
That's the problem. And what happens? Well, we all kind of agree with this on the gamers at large. I mean, it's supposed to be gameplay, fun factor, then graphics, sound, track, and then replayability. That's how you should look at games.
Man, the person that nominated it as Game of E3 last year, right? He was the same person. He was the same person complaining initially about Wonderful 101 being complicated and hard.
Oh Lord!
So
Stop playing.
I just really have a problem when stuff like that happens, man. I'm like, and it's not just IGN as a whole; it's those individuals as a whole. In one review, you say you don't like this because of this. Then you comment on a podcast about this, and it's great for the same reasons you said this was shit. I don't get it, man. It should be a graphics engine that makes the game more fun to you. I really don't. I don't understand it at all. Like, to me, if you don't understand where Fallout came from, and you're just playing any other game, it should feel clunky to you. It should feel kind of slow and methodical. It should not feel good to you if the other games that you like are fast paced and very deliberate in how you dispatch enemies and things like that, right? It shouldn't.
But if you played Fallout 1 and 2,
exactly, you would complain in Fallout 1, but Fallout 3 is great because there's a HD graphics engine. So to me, that blows my mind, man. Like, how many people? There are so many people out here that have no idea what the Elder Scrolls is. They just know about Skyrim and freaking what was it, Morrowind and the other game.
Arena.
Yeah, well, I don't even know too many people knew about Arena or Daggerfall. But they see, I mean, and that's not digging on you, but I'm just saying there are people like that are really like, oh my God, this Skyrim game is the business, blah 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 blah, and they say it's the biggest world out there, blah 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 blah. I'm like, really, Daggerfall?
I hated Skyrim because that whole vampire curse thing. I hated it.
Vampire curse was kind of weird, and some of the drunk sequences were really weird too.
Yeah, but it just got me mad the way they sit up here and made it so that you could be turned into a vampire earlier in the game, against your will. I don't like that.
Yeah.
You kind of ruins the experience if you don't know about the quest to cure it.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, despite all the perks you may get for being a vampire, if you plan on sitting up here and playing, a good character, you're pretty much screwed.
Yeah, you don't get any choice to change your destiny at that point. You'd be a neutral evil at that point.
You're either neutral evil or you have to do the quest, and the quest you have to luck into it, pretty
Wow.
much. Because you got to sit up here and talk to that one barmaid over and over until she randomly brings it up, and then you got to go on the quest.
And I'm just really having an issue with people, man. It's just people that are like, please tell me what is cool, right? That's what I'm gonna talk about to other people on the internet or in real life. And I really hate that, man. Like nobody. I say it all the time. Do you play games to have fun or to impress other people? Everybody else seems to be of the latter.
Yeah.
And
That's
they can
why
all kiss my Raza Fraza such and such.
Yeah,
I'm just telling you right now, part of the problem, like I said, is the fact that they just don't know how to sit up here and play when the camera's off. When the
yeah,
camera's off, what do? Me, I got a ton of PC games in my backlog that's ridiculous.
yeah. I'm
Okay?
catching up right now because I'm out of town right now.
My
So
my my PC catalog just went up a bit more because they had a sale on good old games. They got sales coming up on Steam for this summer. So you already know I'm gonna have another backlog. Besides,
I downloaded Hawking from my clan, so I'm gonna be playing that for a bit. So
wow.
I
My
mean,
backlog is god.
yeah, I wanted to get on the backlog podcast. I missed that one. That would have been kind of funny.
I would have been talking for a good 10-15 minutes.
I wasn't even gonna talk. I was just gonna turn the video on and show you my wall.
Oh Lord! All I gotta do is
All my
bust out Origin, bust out Steam, bust out Good Old Games, bust out Gamers Gate.
People still don't believe I have Final Fantasy 12 still sealed in plastic. They're like, "You ain't played that game?" No, it's here. I haven't had a chance. They was like, "No, you lying. You lying." I just want to show people that, so they'll be like, "Oh my God, he really has not played that game." Yeah, it's crazy.
Please tell me, have you played 13?
No, I haven't played. I'm not gonna play 13 until I finish 12.
Okay, you're like me, very linear. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
13.
But believe me, you might want to skip 13. Just go from
Well,
12 to 14.
I did play 10 before I played 9, and that was because I knew what 9 was like. So once I got slightly disappointed by 10, I immediately jumped back and started playing 9. That was the only time I skipped.
Well, I highly advise to possibly skip 13. 13, 13 X2, 13 2, I mean 13, 13 2, 13 3.
Skip that Roman numeral altogether.
Yeah, just skip 13 period.
All lightning is cloud anyway.
Oh Lord!
I'm
That's
gonna
pretty
beat
much it.
13 just because I'm stubborn, but that's about it.
Yeah, but
I'm
you
highly
said you're
disappointed.
linear, so you should love 13.
Yes,
You
play
know what?
13
You know
so
what
can
I
eventually
mean,
play 14.
smartass. I meant that when I get a game or a movie or a TV series, I like to start from the beginning and work my way towards the end.
Yeah, you're like me though. I hate sitting up here and watching movies out of order.
Yep.
To me, that throws the whole thing off. It's like ah.
And I realize it's nonsense though because there really is no canonical with any of those games, but it just to me it seems like it's an evolution in gameplay mechanics. So I don't want to miss. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
You don't want to go. You
well,
don't want to go into one game and you don't appreciate what you have in front of you because it
Well-
bounced off the previous game.
Well, I must warn you that 13 is a mutation, and mutations aren't always good.
I'm gonna tell you something right now.
But you
Trying
never know, you might like it.
to get used to it takes a while, but it's kind of like The Witcher. You're gonna have a lot of teething pains when you can sit up here and try to get used to the combat. When you try to get used to the combat system, it's gonna take a while, dude.
It's too easy.
It's too easy in
it's
the
an
beginning, but
insult. It's like an insult to gamers almost. I'm like, this is not an RPG. I don't know what this is, but it's not an RPG.
shoot, let me tell you something right now. I wish they would bring back games like, let me see, dang, I'm trying to remember the name of it.
Final Fantasy 4.
Final Fantasy 4 is awesome.
4, Final Fantasy 6.
Good old
Final
job
Fantasy
system.
6. Oh, Final Fantasy 6.
That's my favorite Final Fantasy of all time.
But I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking about Grandia actually. I would like to
Oh,
see
Grandia,
Grandia
Grandia.
come
okay,
back.
Oh
that's good.
God, Grandia
That's
one
a
and
good
two
one.
of the business.
Grandia
Yes.
2 is
Agreed.
forget it. I still got that whole phrase stuck in my head. Got to work even harder. Oh Lord, I'm telling you, that is the game right there. You haven't beat it. That game is hilarious, dude. I'm
Yeah, I
telling you,
got it.
many
I haven't
well,
points.
beat it.
Grandia.
I
Oh, Grandia is a business.
Hmm
Just
But
because I don't have my Dreamcast hooked up right now, so I haven't been playing it.
if you are really devout religious in anything whatsoever, you're probably going to be offended by the end of that game, though.
Oh, nice. I gotta
Well,
play.
that's why
I'm
I don't get
excited.
offended by nothing in video games because it's a video game.
Then you know what? You shouldn't be playing The Witcher. You shouldn't be playing. You shouldn't be playing Bayonetta.
Bayonetta.
Shouldn't.
Yeah.
Bayonetta.
Shoot, you shouldn't play any Final Fantasy game, any Devil May anything basically if
Don't
you
even play
are like
Binding of
super
Isaac.
religious.
Don't you dare play Binding of Isaac.
You couldn't play Tales of Symphonia.
Hell, could you
Oh
even play
man,
Child of
hell
Light?
yeah.
Oh, Symphonia
You
really
can't
dug
play Child
deep.
of
You know what this Symphonia was really digging deep about, right?
Oh,
It
they
was
were
If you
going
paid
in.
going.
attention, you
They
knew.
were
I'm not
going
gonna say it
in.
here because I'm not gonna sit up here and bring up religion, but I know what they were digging in at.
Yeah, they were going in. They were going in for
They were going at it. That's all I gotta say. And the Japanese, they always do that a lot.
Oh yeah.
tongue in
they,
cheek with it.
they're real tongue in cheek with it. I'm like, wow, dude, really? Wow, it's kind of like let me see,
People,
Xenosaga. Xenosaga's the same way.
Yep.
hmm
Hell, Xenoblade too.
Yep.
Towards the end. Yeah, oh God, man. Woo.
I can't wait to see what they do with Xenoblade
I'm sorry.
Chronicles X. I
Oh,
can't wait
dude,
to
But
we
see
are.
but X has been downgraded. It's not as pretty
Ugh,
as it looked like before.
what?
What?
What? What
I
video
mean,
did you see?
That's the crap I've been hearing starting to drift
Oh,
around
somebody's
YouTube
saying
right
that, then
now.
they are obviously lying to
hey,
Oh,
themselves.
hey, Rashidi, stop talking to ducks, man.
I don't even look. I
believe it
don't
or
even
not,
think
he
he was.
wasn't guilty of it this time, although he
I don't
probably
think
did
he was
say that.
talking to Quackers. I think he was talking to somebody else. I don't even
Okay.
think.
And Legend of Zelda is a little too cartoony. It's pretty,
They,
but
Oh man, I love the way that they set
The
up their
art style
Legend
is
of Zelda.
beautiful. I'm sorry,
and
it's
they
beautiful.
took they pasteled up even more Skyward Sword, and they
Hmm
gave it like really like hard lighting. So
hmm
honestly, this style will make it last way long,
It
even
will
better than
make
Wind
it.
Waker did.
and
15 years from now, you can look at the game and be like, man, that game looked good.
Man, it still looks beautiful.
it's this
Yep.
weird parallel between realism and non-realism. It looks realistic as fuck, but it doesn't. Like I can't explain. I guess because the
It's a surreal beauty
It's
to
the
it.
way I'm sorry, the way that scenery looked. I didn't even think that was like a Wind Waker-ish type style when I looked at it until it got into motion.
nah, it
Then
looks
I was
like
like, oh,
I could just
okay.
look at that one cut scene before it even started where AG and Luma was just talking. And you just
hmm
look at the, you
This
just
is like
watching
The
the
grass
sun and
glow.
the grass
all the
and the
grass is
clouds
moving
overhead.
individually.
it kind of looks like
It's,
a really dark anime, kind of in a
yeah,
way, because
yeah,
the lighting is like,
that's
oh man,
Dude, I hope they don't go all
see,
Blood Sea with it.
That's another thing.
but
Nintendo needs to make some animes, really.
yes,
They
they do.
Oh my
they
god.
do. Did
that,
y'all watch? Did you watch
I'm
the
sorry,
Smash
but that
Brothers
whole
video?
battle between Link and Pit, oh
Yeah,
man,
that was the best.
especially
oh,
knowing Link was going to hand him his behind.
hmm
It's,
And Palutena's like, I will kill both of you. What are you doing?
he's like,
hmm
I'm like,
I'm a
and
goddess.
the bad, but you know something they said wrong in that whole video where she was talking about Link, where she called him a
Demigod, son.
mere mortal. Like he's a
Demigod.
demigod.
Yep.
He's not a
hmm
mere mortal. He reincarnates.
hmm
Like that was a complete. I don't know who wrote that, but they made that mistake, and I was like, that was the biggest mistake in that whole thing.
Well,
Even
maybe
though
it
the
was.
trailer was
Maybe
still beautiful.
it probably was done intentionally, because
Yeah,
sometimes goddesses they get a little too cocky. They're
I
like,
was like, yeah, go ahead,
yeah,
fight him.
yeah.
Like you
I
saw
don't
what
think
happened
she
to your
under.
boy.
I don't think she understands that his girlfriend is a reincarnation of a goddess. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's like. But
Oh
I
lord.
can see it now. There's going to be a whole lot of team battles with Link and Zelda against Pit and Palutena.
Oh
Ooh,
lord. I can see
that's
that
going to be the
happening.
rivalry there.
I wonder who would win that rivalry because I gotta be honest
I'm
with you. Palutena looks a little bit OP.
All I know
I
is
think
it's
they're
too
gonna
many
nerf it a
girls in
little
there,
bit.
and it's too many girls for it to be in there without Daisy being there. Put Daisy in the Smash. Just put her in there like,
Nah,
"Hi, I'm Daisy." Kill everybody.
Daisy ain't going. They ain't gonna do that unless they gonna make Daisy like a complete troll character. They are not gonna do
Yeah,
that.
they need to make her a troll character. She
Why not?
shows
Make
up
her
and
a troll
she
character.
What
drops
does she
a
say?
Mario
It's
Kart
time
on you.
Daisy and
Oh,
blows up.
one of her moves should be her golf swing. One of her moves should be the golf swing.
Nice.
She can do the golf swing. She can
Yeah,
drop the
Oh,
Mario
give her
Kart.
all her stuff from Mario, the different Mario sports and party games.
yeah, there you go.
She could show up in the submarine from Super Mario Land. You know, things
That,
like
you
that.
know what? That wouldn't be
That could
bad.
be her
But
final smash.
Yep.
Give her a final smash. Give her
no,
a final smash.
her final smash should be her holding an umbrella over her head. Then she smiles at you, says, "Hi, I'm Daisy," and everything just blows up.
I'm gonna fire my laser.
Oh, Lord.
This is
Lots
everything
of
blows
damage.
up and does 100% damage on people.
Oh, Lord.
That would piss everyone off.
Especially if they're a Jigglypuff player.
Oh
Oh.
yes, oh yes.
Jigglypuff. Good grief.
Yeah, you know he's coming back. He has to come back.
Is it? Don't they recognize Jigglypuff as a girl though?
I
always thought they
sometimes
recognized
say
it as a
she,
girl.
sometimes they say he. I'm confused.
I mean, I know that
I
they're
think-
both male
yeah,
and female in Pokemon, but I think they generally, for the game, recognize it as a female.
Jigglypuff, what they need to do is add a final smash that involves a marker inside the microphone.
Oh, that'd be beautiful.
Oh, seeing everybody fall asleep, then mark all over their faces,
Oh yeah, that's
And then
super.
do
finally
some
hit-
critical damage,
They finally hit one of them and all that.
hit one of
Yeah.
them and knock them into everybody else.
Yeah, there you go.
I want that split-second timing for sleep again on the new Smash, because that made the game right there. That determined whether you were good or not, because you could, like, you didn't even, all you had to do was just hit them with that sleep one time, and they're like flying across the screen. But it's like a fraction of a second, so if you whiff it, it's a wrap. So
Oh,
you know,
Lord.
man, I used to do combos into it. I love that game. Melee was a business.
Oh,
Well, they're
Lord.
making a new one a lot more like Melee, from what I've seen. So you will be happy.
Yeah.
All right. So, if anybody got any other topics?
I got a really interesting, weird, quirky one.
Okay, cool. I like weird, quirky topics. You should know that by now. Go for it.
Now, this is going to be a brain buster here, and I know it's something that's never going to happen, or maybe not happen this generation at least. But what if, big what if, because this is an extremely volatile thing that most likely won't happen, but what if Nintendo and Valve partner up to Nintendo consoles, and
You understand
as the
what kind of
trade-off,
massacre you're
some
starting
Nintendo
here?
games, not all of their major ones, but some Nintendo IPs made it officially to PC through Steam as their platform.
Oh God,
That would
Well,
be a
actually, I
scary
wouldn't like
thought.
that.
that's a real scary thought.
That is a scary
And
thought
the
for the game industry, ain't it?
Yeah, that's
thing
a
is,
real
though,
scary thought.
I mean, unless you're trying to start a massacre, but
Yeah, I don't even like that future. To be honest with you.
Yeah, because I could see it going. I could see it going and stabbing Nintendo somehow in the back.
Yeah.
yeah, because the thing is, why would you put? The thing is, the unique thing about Nintendo is that they have games you can't find anywhere else, and if they do that, then basically their games are going to be on somewhere else.
But that's not necessarily true if they only allow one other platform to get it.
Yeah, if they lock
But
it
it's
on
only
Steam,
one.
it'll literally be like a Steam box or whatever compatible.
Yeah, but the thing is, you gotta understand, Steam is not exactly bulletproof when it comes to cracking.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can
that's
crack it
true.
obviously, but then you can
But-
crack the consoles too. Like you can put Nintendo games on Xbox 360 right now. It's just
Yeah, true enough. I mean, I've seen people sit up here and used to play ROMs on the Dreamcast.
and people still do it on PSP.
That wasn't even difficult to crack, though. People are making games for Dreamcast because of how well it was cracked.
Oh yeah,
Still making them.
Windows
But I'm
C,
saying
you
not
can't beat
even. I'm not saying take like their major IPs, but some of the lesser knowns that they don't really have out, or the ones that are like falling off that people want to see come back.
it. And that would be their extension to the virtual console, basically. So
Yeah.
that would be a good thing. But
I'm not talking like doing their major IPs because that would be a stupid move in my eyes. But if you take stuff like F-Zero, because that's not one of their major IPs, but it is popular enough, and put it out like that, I think people could get with that idea. Heck, Splatoon, a perfect example of a new IP that would fit well with that.
Yeah, it would. Splatoon
Make it cross-platform. I mean, because what indie developers isn't that's bringing out Cubeman 2 for the Wii U, and that's going to be cross-platform playable. And we know Nintendo is down for the idea of cross-platform play with other companies' consoles.
Yeah, the other companies just don't want to do it.
Yeah, which is Call of Duty people are going to be like, oh no, them people playing on the Wii U cheating. But how are he going to jump off the side of a mountain and still get a headshot on me?
Because he has a Wii remote. Get with it.
Recognize. Sorry.
But I'm just saying
has a Wii remote.
That's where my thought process was going with it. I mean, not trying to say, take Nintendo and just throw everything they got to Valve. Oh gosh, no, hell no.
That'd be a scary thought, seriously.
No, but that would cut the excuse for developing for the Wii U, because I doubt any of the major third parties that put their stuff out on Steam are just going to drop Steam like that.
I got a feeling, though, that this next coming console generation, when it does come about 3 to 5 years from now, I got a feeling what they're going to end up doing is following Nintendo's route about how they sat up there and had the frame buffer larger than what most people would expect. You know what I'm saying? Versus going for a large amount of RAM, system RAM.
Well, the Xbox One already did it. It's just that they knew that they were going to be short on the RAM side of things, so they made sure they had enough for additional programs, since they have those extra cores or whatever to deal with. So Sony was originally going to have 4 gigs. And they surprised everybody and said, hey, we'll spend this extra money on this really fast fucking memory that's highly latent. And, that's what surprised everybody. So, to me, I think that Microsoft was actually following what Nintendo was doing. Because I think the x86 thing came about when the third parties started really complaining and saying, look, this is what we want in quote-unquote Gen 4, if you listen to EA and some of these other people. Because there were rumors for a very long time that the Xbox One was going to have a power architecture.
And they decided to opt out of that.
Yeah, they switched.
In my mind, that was a dumb thing to do, but hey.
If they would have went power architecture, I got a feeling the landscape of gaming would be a whole lot different right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it probably would be. It probably would be.
And Nintendo would not be as ignored, because now you have 2.
No excuses.
But I mean, there's always excuses.
There's going to be excuses, bro. Come on. Come on.
I mean, they made near the most powerful console at the end of the 6th generation, because for me, it's a toss-up between GameCube and Xbox.
Yeah,
and there were still excuses then.
Yeah, there were things that GameCube could do that Xbox couldn't, and vice versa. It was a more modern feature set on the Xbox, but it had less overall raw horsepower when you threw all the effects at it. So it was one of those things where, whatever.
Yeah.
But that was the generation that Sony was clearly behind in the power race. And since they are clearly ahead in the power race this time, everybody's happy about it. Like, y'all wasn't saying that back during the PS2.
Not even the PS3. When PS3 technically was more powerful, but because the way the memory subsystem was laid out, people were porting from Xbox 360, and that was a detriment for that system. So now you go from 512 megs to 256 split in half, and it's now it's a problem. And you got to segment your game and make it look poor because you didn't start on the PS3 first.
Yeah, which honestly, that was one of the biggest reasons that Skyrim was so unplayable on it.
If the PlayStation 3 came out in 2005, it could have been a completely different story. Story.
Yeah. Well, if we don't have any more topics,
I got one more.
We got one more? Okay, one more. We got one more topic then. All right, go ahead, Games.
Okay, so I just read this on Flaretons, and Shuya Yoshida confirms that there will be lesser first-party games for PS Vita. Now...
Again?
Yep, again.
Again?
So basically,
they've confirmed even less?
Yep.
Oh, that's
so what are they basically trying to do? Turn it into a controller?
Pretty much.
Yes.
PlayStation TV. I think that's what they're doing at this point.
But if PS Vita TV is playing Vita games, they're still shooting themselves in the foot.
See,
Yeah.
this is the crap that pisses me off with these people. I was actually, no, I was actually waiting to see about getting a PS Vita because like I said, I've had every single PlayStation thing except for the PS Go, the Vita, and the PS4. I have so many different versions of the PSP. It's ridiculous.
Wow.
Because you were trading stuff in games with yourself, though.
Well, more than just that, but well, I was the only
Yeah,
real
I
gamer
know.
in my area. But anyways, but yeah, I did all that. I'm like, all right, cool. Let me wait. Let's see what's coming. What's coming? What's coming? There ain't nothing coming.
Uh,
Man.
And then they want to
and the
make it
bad
into
thing
a
is that
wannabe gamepad.
the
They
Vita
they need to
itself,
they need to bundle it with the PS4. They need to go ahead and do that and
they
not
were they
sell
were
it
talking
separately.
about doing that.
I'd buy
They
it
were
though
talking
if
about
they
doing that.
bundle it. If they
Just
bundle it, I'll do
But
it.
weren't they bundled? They were talking about bundling it for like $800 with like
Oh hell
two
no.
games.
yeah. It needs to
Mm,
be a PS4 bundle, and they don't sell the Vita SKU anymore. Period. Because if they're doing this and there's no support for it, 3DS is destroying that shit. Like, just make it part of the PlayStation 4 ecosystem. Still release games on it whenever the hell you want to, and there's no rush because the PS4 audience already has one. So when you start selling them like that,
excuse
you
me.
know, you at least know
But
you have a
then,
dedicated market of people
But
for
Shadow,
the system. Yeah,
you're making sense.
sorry,
yeah, so like that
my
makes
bad.
too much sense, man. That makes far too much sense.
Yeah, but that's what would do it. I think right now because
But
there's no
but
other
you,
way to really get it to go.
I know. But the problem also with that sits is then people obviously people be like, oh, it's nice to have this PS4 Vita bundle. I would go the same to these same people be like, oh, so you wanted it this way, but when it was the Wii U, you didn't want it.
Oh yeah, come
Mm.
on, we know those are excuses. Like people are coming up with excuses about the latency. It's not going to be perfect, but I can take it outside of my house, in which it's even slower. Yes, of course, you can take it outside
But
of
Mm.
your
yeah,
house,
you have to have a very, very, very stable connection for that to work
and you got to
properly.
afford ports and all the other kind of craziness. It's
So
not just
Mm.
going to
it's
work out of the box. It's not.
that's
Oh
what people
Lord, but
don't understand. Mm.
like I said though, that's what happens when they sit up here and try to play the whole Me Too route.
Well,
See,
the
that's the thing,
problem
though.
was that they didn't have any games. They don't have a lot of games that are specifically for the Vita. It's usually PS3 ports,
Mm.
which I don't see the point in porting a bunch of console games down to a handheld. Didn't Ubisoft learn that this was not a good idea when they tried to port a bunch of stuff to the 3DS? It
Hell,
was
didn't
all
Sony
console
learn
games
when they
that
did
got
the
ported
same thing
down.
with the PSP?
Yeah, it was like you thought they would have learned.
Well,
Like this is,
this is the
gosh,
gaming
man.
industry we're talking about. They never learn.
You
Oh my
know,
god,
it's
which,
just
which is sad because the gaming industry used to be filled with the most creative people in the world, and now
Now,
it feels like it's just a bunch of
greedy people.
the
idiots.
the
you
Vita
see
has
though.
so
You
much
see,
potential. The PSP has so much potential. It's just
Yep.
you
And
it's
see,
I
they're
it's
trying
was,
to
oh
make
sad.
it.
gosh,
They're trying to make it into a device that is not supposed to be and not really is supported by another device. So they're trying to make it like the Wii U gamepad, but they just can't because that's not what the PS4 was
if,
meant to do.
honestly, if they're gonna do that with the Vita, they might as well make a bigger size for it too, because that screen is small.
Yeah, and the thing is, it does not have the full-on controls, that a regular controller for a console would have. So it literally just makes no sense to have the PS Vita even like as a controller at all, because that thing
Hey, you can use
doesn't
Yeah,
do
those.
start
dirt
You
for
can
you.
using.
use the back of that daggone pad for your R2, man. You don't know about that.
Get out of here! I
Rub
don't
that
use
back of that
that.
controller for your
That's
R2.
uncomfortable for some people, though.
I
It can
do
be
not use
comfortable
that.
for certain people, but other people are uncomfortable.
And the
There
thing
is
is, you're
no
not
way you can play
sure
Call of Duty with that. You can't do it.
exactly because you're not sure if you're gonna hit the right button. And the thing is, that in the back it supports R3, L3, R2, and L2, which is stupid.
Well,
Yeah,
you can move R3 and R2, R3 and L3 to the front. You can use it on the front touchscreen, but still, it's
It's
still not a good
uncomfortable.
idea to just use that as a portable controller for your PS4.
Yep.
yes,
It needs its
not
own
working.
ecosystem of games.
That's the thing
Yeah,
with
but
Sony.
like you already said that Yoshida already sat up there and announced they got less games coming out for it. So I don't even know if they're gonna slowly kill it off. Just get it over with.
I'd
It,
say
People,
just drop all support for it right now. and be done with it. If you're
You know
going to
how
literally kill it off anyway.
this is how Vita could have profited, right? Every time Apple gets on stage and announces a new device, and they always show at least one game for their new device that looks pretty well. Have the same make a contract for that same game to come to the Vita, and it smokes the phone. Just do that. There's dedicated resources on there, so even if a new chip comes out, like for the next 2 years at least, you're not going to be eclipsed because of the dedicated hardware that's on the freaking on Vita.
Yep.
So the games are going to look better, and you can always say, "Hey, look, man, you can't do this on your phone. You can't do this on your phone." So you can play a way better looking version of Madden than the phone could. You can play a way better version of the little what's the name of the racing game that EA makes for the iPad now? I can't think of the name of it, but you can make a way better version of those because you have a dedicated GPU, man. It just makes sense.
Yeah. Oh well.
Well, they're just not going that route, which is sad, but.
And there should have been a ton of games for the E3.
Yeah.
Yes, there should have. They neglected the hell out of that thing.
Especially on the indie front. Like if you're making a downloadable title for a console, why is it not on Vita also? Because those indie titles, they fit perfectly on that system.
I'm surprised that they haven't ported Knack to it yet. Knack would actually fit the Vita.
Knack. Okay. And on that note,
yeah.
And on that note, if anybody else does not have any topics that are not right away, that you guys want to right away talk about, then I guess we're gonna have to wrap things up.
Nope,
we're done.
This is the dry bones desert right now, man.
So I guess we're gonna sit up here and call it a wrap. All right, let's start from my left to my right to do our sign-offs. Let's start with Games Rosa. Do your thing, bro.
Hey guys, well, glad to be here, and hopefully you guys enjoyed. And yeah, it really was dry.
He's lying. He's playing Mario Kart behind our backs.
Oh, see, that's why he sounds so far away from his microphone.
No, it's because my mic is on my phone, and my phone is literally it's right next to me. But anyway,
he has to pause the game.
I believe you.
You're like, I believe I can lie.
Oh, like EA, Ubisoft, and Microsoft and Sony?
Oh no. We're done.
Oh Lord. Up next we got letters. Letters, do your thing.
Yo, this is Andre, GBGIU, popped in a little bit late because I was getting grub and I didn't want to eat on the microphone, but I enjoyed being here for the podcast and sharing my little Valve and Nintendo partnership thought.
Scariness.
It could either be the most beautiful thing in the world or it could be the worst idea ever. That's how volatile this thought is, but people keep your eyes out for on my channel. I have another Gamer Idea Foundry in the works. I'm talking with a few people behind the scenes about it, so I'm not going to say anything else. Just keep your eyes out for it and enjoy it. Other than that, keep your eyes and ears up for more of my stuff. Until the next time, people, enjoy your games.
Alrighty. And up next, we got the Good Shepherd. Shep, do your thing, bro.
What's going on, peoples? Thanks for listening. I have to tell you guys, I'm actually making videos now. So
yes, he is.
So you want to check it out. And I'm going to keep making more videos. So hopefully I'll bring out some good content for y'all to check out.
Alrighty. And up next, we got Shadow Fox. Shadow Fox, do your thing, bro.
Shadow Fox Infinite. Look out for my post E3 impressions. You will see those and also impressions of people that think they know technical things about consoles and they really don't. So there'll be some discussion and some other things going on, and hopefully this person will finally join this time and not run away. So stay tuned, and as I always say, do you play games to have fun or to impress other people?
Shadow Fox gonna break people down.
Oh Lord, here we go. And up next and last would be myself, QMC, Quan Manchu. You know how I do. And as I always say, everybody, whatever's clever. We out.